Welcome back to Dota 2 Asian Championship powered by the Score Esports. This is the lower bracket round 2. And we have one of the most cheered for teams in the Western scene going to face the surprise that eliminated Navi. I was kind of hoping for a Cloud9 Navi rematch of the TI. We couldn't get that, but we are going to get Cloud9 versus HGT.
Man, this is a love 'em or hate 'em kind of team. Are there any people that just don't care about Cloud9? Maybe in Asia or in China, but in the West, you either love Cloud9 or you hate them.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's very little in between.
To be fair, they kind of do that to themselves when you watch them play, because they play amazing one game, and then one game you're scratching your head saying, why?
And they're not afraid to make tough decisions, right? Eternal Envy, getting rid of AUI 2000,
yeah,
a fan favorite. Pylai, I think, less beloved, but still a part of that core original Cloud9 lineup. Kind of defined them as a group. Kaipi, the Kaipi boys.
Kaipi boys.
But they're not afraid to make the tough calls, and I mean, this will be one of their big tests along the road to proving that it was the right decision.
Mm-hmm. We're going to a draft right now because the draft has already started with 4 picks in. We can keep talking about HGT and Cloud9. What surprised you about HGT in the game they played versus Navi?
It was not ZSMJ who a lot of us are talking about. If they're going to do well, it's going to be him putting his team on his back. The rest of the team stepped it up. The support play especially got a lot done. The Witch Doctor from Pretty Hall was incredible. Air on the TA as well was just immaculate. Like, that was one of the best TA performances we've seen all tournament long. So to me, this team is actually to some extent the full package at times. So for HGT, it's no longer about just ZSMJ playing that 4 Protect 1 style. They're not actually picking him those kind of heroes. He's been playing the Juggernaut, he's been playing the Slark, he's been playing much more kind of aggressive carries, which fit into more like a 2-3 kind of core lineup.
Yeah, and well, we have the Axe and the Troll Warlord here. So
All 3 Spin Lords have emerged from their slumber, and they will enter the field of battle once more.
You know, there's a 4 Spin Lord that we haven't talked about?
Tidehunter?
Well, actually, he also spins, but I was thinking about Broodmother.
He spins in Dota 1, but in Dota 2 he doesn't technically count as
Yeah, that
spin.
is true.
But that was a stretch, man.
Broodmother is a spin lord. She spins webs.
Well, she's a
She's a web spinner.
a Duchess of Spin.
Yes.
Crystal
So-
Maiden. She
Yeah.
likes to twirl.
Spins
Twirl.
once in a while.
Yeah. People are saying Tinker spins when he rearms. He's like his torso spins around.
Okay, the spin has to have damage.
Okay,
It must be a
Yeah.
powerful spin.
fair enough.
All right, so we're gonna see the Zeus ban. We saw Cloud9 actually implementing the support Zeus.
Okay, never mind.
And Fada, up until then, it had been Fada going mid almost every game on Zeus, playing it pretty greedily. Normally a Midas, often a Bloodstone after that. But they did show that they're not afraid to run as a support if need be.
Wow,
So
we see the Leech support coming. This is a very uncommon support, but a very powerful one on their own, especially in this metagame when you have damage dealers that are physical damage, like Troll Warlord, like Axe. The Frost Armor does a lot for you.
I'm
And
just worried, Bruno. This hero has been always, if you don't get anything done, you die one time in the early game. Just one time. The hero is gonna fall off. He can't do his job well later on. Frost Armor is nice, but early game, everyone say, okay, you pick Lich, you want the Frost Armor, but they ultimately forget that this hero, the most important job is to not die in the early laning phase. Dark Ritual, you make sure that you do damage to the safe lane. That is his biggest impact in the whole game.
The reason why Winter is saying this is because Lich, unlike other supports, he's going to get more levels in average just because he can Dark Pact his own creeps and get a lot of levels early. But he's not that powerful. He's still a support that in a 1v1 situation he does to pretty much everyone. So dying as a level 2 support to the off-laner, no big deal. Dying as a level 5 support to the off-laner, you're probably getting a full level for free, and that's not acceptable.
yeah, that's certainly true. Cloud9 gonna go Beastmaster. Normally the Fada hero. They don't run it off lane like a lot of other teams. They like to put him mid, and they love that Necrobook rush.
Yeah, I think it's most likely Fada's hero here in this game. If you put him up against the Troll, he has decent starting base armor, 5 armor at the start, so he should still be able to farm decently. Unlike we saw certain games where a melee hero get destroyed by Troll because Troll just harass you so much with the slow and with his whirling axes.
I want to ask you, Winter.
Yes, Bruno.
Do you have a question?
No, I lost it. I looked at the Beastmaster, I lost it, but it will be back soon. Don't worry.
You can get lost in those eyes.
Yes.
Beautiful, man.
His beard, especially, is very intimidating.
He's got to balance out Lion and Lich. That is not an attractive duo.
Oh, I remember. Do you think this is a Legion Commander game, Winter, for Cloud9? Do you think there is such a thing as a Legion Commander game for Cloud9?
They should delete that hero from their arsenal. That hero did not work for them at all this group stage.
If you can duel and run backwards, then I say yes.
So if you're
That
an
sucks.
Axe.
Yeah.
I mean, when Cloud9 ran the Legion in the past, they gave Bone7 a lot more space. And it feels like he's being thrown on an island most of these games. So to the extent that's the case, something a little more farm independent would suit him better.
Sometimes he falls into the island himself. It wasn't his team that throws him.
Sometimes he gets... I mean, there's been a lot of games where he's just put in an unwinnable matchup, to be fair.
But every man.
But
is
I
an
would
island.
agree he's also had some bad games.
Yes, Bruno.
Every man is an island, as the writer said. Which writer said that? There's a poem.
Every pirate has an island.
No, every pirate. Well, I guess.
Is that what they say in Malaysia?
This cast is going off the deep end of the island.
Every man is an island onto what?
It's no man is an island.
No, there's no man. No man is an island from John Donne. You're correct. That would have been better. I would have told you. No, you're wrong, Winter. No man is an island. Can we start again? Can we redo the draft?
So C9's going to ban the Void here.
Fata is here in the game, so I mean we can do a redo if we need to.
Good partner for your troll as a core that benefits a lot from the battle trance. Goes well with the Skywrath Mage. I do feel like they want a little more damage of some kind. I don't know if you want another melee core though. You're up against Lich, Juggernaut, Beastmaster Roar.
Melee Hawk, I feel it could still work if he can work. If he can like have a lot of synergy with battle trance, it would be possible that a melee core could still work for HGT here. Let me see what is available. Slug is actually very good against all the heroes. I feel.
Slardar is a hero we've seen on and off.
HGT generally haven't run the troll mid though. That's normally been your safe laner for ZSMJ or.
Yeah.
So what are air heroes? We've seen Brewmaster a lot in the past.
Wow.
I speak for the trees.
The return of the Bone7 Nature's
blade-
Prophet. This
the
is the
blade
map
meal.
control draft.
The blade meal
You
is
got the
real.
Hawk, the global mobility.
It feels like you want another pickoff here if you're HGT here, because right now it's just the
How
act
about
of
a
the
Storm?
blink call.
No offlane storm, please.
No, definitely not awful.
No.
There is
Offlane
Lion,
Axe.
Beastmaster. It's like decent lockdown for him, but he's really good with Troll.
What goes well with Skywrath Mage? Of course, Faceless Void is bad, but
For HGT, they may just try win the laning stage. Rubik, Skywrath Mage, very potent support duo.
They can have a TA and put Troll on safe lane, I guess. Spin
Yeah.
all their lanes and hopefully snowball from there on, and a lot of physical damage with the Troll ultimate.
who's gonna build
It's not an
utility?
easy
though?
game for TA, though.
Yeah, that's the ball slowing him down. There's
Frost armor, Lich double slow, Lion Hex, and
Yeah,
Peril.
but he's like, he could do very well from the laning phase and snowball against the
Yeah.
Beastmaster. And the other thing I feel TA would be able to contribute is because Cloud9 have a very good Roche lineup, and having the trap always give you the heads up when something along the lines of like early Roche is going on for C9.
How about an Ember Spirit for HGT?
It is a classic HGT hero.
That would actually be...
Doesn't really use the battle trance.
Yeah, but
but there's a lot of
lot of disable-
trends, and there's
a lot of disable, and I'm not sure if he actually would have a comfy lane against Beastmaster, since he has very low armor and Wild Axe would do a lot of damage in the lane. The ball will be annoyance to you as well.
It's always like a stable mid, like a Viper or even a Razor, someone who can build tanky.
Yeah, Razor is actually a decent idea, good against the Lion.
Aren't you concerned about mobility? The fact that none of the HGT heroes are particularly mobile, and Nature's Prophet can split push.
I still like the Storm,
However.
to be honest.
Axe
It's a
should-
little risky, but...
Axe should still be able to catch him.
All right,
Okay.
this one we didn't even discuss. But
What a
he-
manly lineup!
Yeah, this guy can really use the battle trance.
Bristleback against Beast... Oh no, they're actually putting Troll against Beastmaster, so ZSMJ will carry his team with the Bristleback.
I feel like they may even send Axe like safe lane against Nature's Prophet and put
Yeah,
the
either of these heroes could do
Bristle-
very well against the
Bristol
Nature's Prophet.
Skyraft top or Skyraft X top.
Yeah.
Or Rubik X top.
It looks like it might be another rough game for
Yeah.
Bone7.
Do they even offensive trialing with the Rubik Skywrath? Or is that? Do you think that's out of the
Maybe,
question, Winter?
but that's a bit risky because there's Prophet, so there's +1.
Yeah.
There's always a
Yeah.
+1 factor. I think Bone 7 is not going to be thrown on his lonely island. There will be Rasmus on his lane.
Do you think so, or because the other possibility is that Nature Prophet goes jungling super fast and just forsakes the lane?
Yeah,
There's
it's-
not much
it's
pushing
C9.
potential.
Anything along the lines of the greediness, it's expected.
Yes.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they leave the Lich bottom.
Who knows?
The
It used,
offlane
to,
Lich
it used to be a thing.
used to be the go-to play.
Yeah, we
Used
shall
to be
see,
a thing.
Bruno. We shall see.
We shall see. And the other ones that shall see as well are the Dota cinema casters that are sitting there and ready to cast this game. It's going to be Cloud9 versus HGT, game 1 of the best of 3 casted by SUNSfan and syndereN. Guys, take us away.
Thank you, Bruno. We are going to be casting this pause as best we can. syndereN, how are you doing today?
I'm good. We got some decent rest. So that
We
was
did.
nice. Apart from those kids that started making a lot of noise in the hallway, apart from that, it was good.
Okay, so just to preface this, actually, it's not even a preface. When you guys think about, okay, we're going to explain the story. So at 5 p.m., a bunch of kids started singing really loudly for about 10 to 15 minute period.
And running.
Which, by the way,
and
how
yelling.
dare they while people are sleeping at 5 p.m.?
Yeah.
Who do you think got mad? Me or syndereN? The answer is, in fact, syndereN. He wanted to beat those children. Okay, not quite to that extent. But he
Okay,
was not happy.
okay.
I was like, oh, it's so cute.
It sounds so like such a big word when you say I got mad. Like I was literally getting up and
Yeah,
started
it's-
yelling at them. I
it's
was
an
annoyed.
exaggeration.
I was certainly annoyed. That was a bit frustrating. But well, apart from that, we're ready. We are reinvigorated and ready to cast this game.
Reinvigorated.
While we have this pause, we can actually talk over the hypothetical laning possibilities for Cloud9. I think, actually for both teams, this is a pretty difficult laning setup to set, because there's nothing that's really obvious. The panel was talking about dual lane offlaning the Axe, or even safe laning him, Bristle in the other spot, and then for Cloud9, whether or not the Prophet would go jungle or dual lane bottom. And I think if you look at Cloud9's lane, if they put a Lich Prophet bottom, I think that actually beats absolutely any lane HGT can set with 2 heroes. They're playing double range with creep denies from Lich, and Prophet and Lich have decent... they don't have the best base damages, but they also don't have the worst, and they both have long range. So a hero like Axe will not be able to spin on them. A hero like Bristleback cannot really commit into them because he won't get high enough levels fast enough. And either of HGT supports, I don't think can harass them out of the lane. If Skywrath tries to come close, they will just fight him 2-on-1. So I think the dual lane offlane for Cloud9 is the approach. Then they'll safe lane Lion Jug, and we have a resume when someone is
A
DC.
resume and instant pause.
Okay, Envy.
Something to take note of that's
there
probably
we
the most important thing about this game, as we were looking at the effigy of Magnus. We have 2 heroes in the game that have kick animations. Did you know that? Can you name the second?
So you know what the first one is, or what?
The first one was Magnus, which I just gave away.
Oh, you
because
said
it's the
in the
effigy.
game. I thought you meant in this game. The second one's Beastmaster.
All right, Wepis just ruined it by
What?
putting it on the camera.
What? No, I knew that.
That's a lie.
I knew that. All right, bonus question. Which foot does he kick with?
Oh, God. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, see?
Hold
How
on.
well do you know your heroes?
Left foot.
All right, I'm going to say maybe.
Do you actually know?
I don't know.
Maybe he
I
alternates,
think he might
actually.
alternate.
It
yeah.
could be a trick
It
question.
would be legit if he kicked with both feet at once.
That would just be weird. That would look so stupid.
I want
It's
that.
like him doing jumping jacks
I want
or
that as a
something.
cosmetic. Custom kick animation for Beastmaster.
Envy's been making it known that he does not like the chairs that are being used at the venue at the moment, although those ones look pretty comfortable, so I'm not sure. Maybe it was during the group stages they had something different. Either way.
All right, I'm going to make a bold prediction right now.
Yes?
There will okay, apart from TI, which I think stands out. Or no, okay, not a prediction. I'm going to ask you: will there ever be an event where neither Eternal Envy nor
No.
EG have any complaints about anything?
No.
Apart from TI.
No.
And even at TI. I think
TI,
it's
no, even including TI, it's still a no. They're just those type of people. They're high maintenance. It's like having a girlfriend, very high maintenance. You love them, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to
But
do.
sometimes you just got to get them a new chair. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. It would be hilarious if it was just Cloud9 with the nice chairs and everybody just got garbage chairs. They just want the advantage in any way possible,
that'll be
chairs or
good.
otherwise.
So, okay, I guess we might as well introduce the lineups as well. This is a quite extended pause, so who do you want to do? Do you want the honor of which team you think is most honorable?
I don't know. Let's flip a coin. Do you have a coin with you?
No.
Okay, so I'll do HGT. Icy's going to be playing the Axe Kaka on the Rubik. Air playing the Troll Warlord. ZSMJ, not ZSMJ, on the Bristleback. And last but not least, Pretty Ha, Skywrath, a Mage.
And for Cloud9, it's going to be Big Daddy No-Tail Lion. Fata will be playing one of his trademark heroes, the Beastmaster, Misery, onto Lich, Bone 7 Prophet, and Eternal Envy sticking to his Juggernaut that certainly performed yesterday. He went 13-0-6 in the game against eHome. This game, draft-wise, I think he might have a harder
This
time.
one's for you, Jeez.
Yeah, this one's really
That's
good.
yeah.
I like that effigy a lot. It's pretty cool.
No-Tail, so clever. Only 3 commands? What?
And
His
I-
team. You can command once per game, too. That's the crazy thing.
But it doesn't work in private lobbies, does it? Isn't it only pubs that count?
That's probably true. He doesn't pub enough then, I guess. Well, Fata only has one.
If you could in private lobbies, you'd have people hosting lobby games just to commend each other's effigies and then restart.
Yeah, because it's so important to get the commands, right?
Trust me, those numbers, don't underestimate it.
Man, that is a massive kick.
I think it's... Whoa.
It doesn't... I feel like it doesn't look like that. Maybe it's just so fast. I feel like it's just like a shin kick.
That
looks
looks-
like a Hadouken kick.
That looks amazing, actually. Wow, that's really cool. As we are fixing a couple of problems with HGT's computers, it looks like. But so about the effigy of the Lone Druid effigy of Big Daddy, did you know that he is a very big Lone Druid fan, or at least that he plays it a hell of a lot in pubs?
I think I may have known at some point.
And then you forgot.
Yep.
And now
I
you know
completely
again.
forgot. Now I re-remember. That's what we call it in
Yep,
America,
that's good.
re-remembering.
I like that. He plays this hero really well. He is, of course, a player who's good at microing, and it's a great hero for solo queue. It's not really been that popular lately with the. Oh, that's not scary at all. With the
I don't
spinners
like the way Roche
taking over.
looks. I think Roche in original Dota looked way better. To
I
be
think he
honest.
could. When you see his face that close up, I think he could use some more detailed texture. It looks pretty.
It's very low. Yeah, it's low texture or
Low
low
tech.
poly. Well, the back doesn't look too bad actually. Oh, I didn't even realize he had things coming out of his back.
Yeah, he does. I don't understand how the spear got in there though when the pointy end is outward. Is it?
Maybe it's a double-headed.
Yeah, I was about to say it could be pointy at both ends.
I think so. But I think the thing that bothers me the most is the yellow center, the sphere, and like for his face.
The gemstone?
Whatever it is, it doesn't look good.
Do you think it would make sense if that was okay? So, if that was the Aegis of the Immortal instead,
I was thinking that
That
too,
he had
but
on his
that's kind of
forehead.
gimmicky. Because then, what is he regrowed on his face? Is that what you're waiting for him to regrow this huge fungus on his face?
I don't know.
That drops and gives people an extra.
You know
Where
what
would
that
the cheese
gemstone
go?
actually reminds me of? The ending of Diablo, the first Diablo game,
I
where
have no
you as
idea.
the hero take a little bit of a spoiler here if you guys haven't played Diablo 1, which is a game from I think 1995 or something, and you still want to play that without spoilers. This is when you mute. But
for the rest
at
of
the
the
end of the game, when you do defeat Diablo with your character, he drops the soul stone in his head, and it corrupts you, and you then take it and impale your own head right there where the gemstone is.
You impale your own head.
With the gemstone. It's sharp.
Okay.
So you're like... And then the
So
game ends. And then in Diablo 2, you actually are the Diablo in Diablo 2 is technically you having won Diablo 1. You are then the boss of Diablo 2.
So they copied Diablo.
They copied their own game. How dare they?
What do you mean they copied their own game? Diablo?
What do you mean? Oh, they...
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Valve copied Diablo
Yes.
with the Roshan. I don't know if that was the source
Unless
of
there's
inspiration.
something I
That would
don't
be
know about Valve creating Diablo and then not getting credit for it.
Maybe Valve and Blizzard are one company. Who knows?
Oh my goodness. Mind has been blown. That's for sure.
Just like Alliance and EG. Maybe one of them is just a subdivision of the other. I doubt it. They don't have that much in common.
Kinda. That's neither here nor there, though. I'm wondering what the issue. This might be the
Easily
first
the longest
pause that's not Cloud9 ever in the history of Dota 2. What was the stat that they have as far as average pauses per game, they are by far at the top of the list.
Out of any competitive team, I think they have, what was it, they average more than one full pause higher than the second most pausing team in the game.
Something like that.
Per game.
And it's very believable.
Yeah. Well,
Again,
it kind of goes
high
hand in hand
maintenance.
with what you've been saying about the maintenance, right?
Yeah.
If
The
anything,
maintenance.
If anything, the high maintenance, right? If anything isn't working out exactly as they want it to, they want everything to be
Excuse me, the humidity in this room is not up to par. Okay?
Excuse
We
me.
need a dehumidifier right now. The temperature in this room needs to be 76 degrees Fahrenheit exactly, or we cannot play Dota.
Oh, Fahrenheit, please.
I'm sorry, I need some hand warmers, or else I can't perform to the highest degree. What else is there? What else can they be picky about? The chair, this is really hurting my back. I need a masseuse. I need somebody to clip my nails. I need a manicure while we're playing. Yeah, poor Wepis, actually. He's like right under a vent, so he actually might need some hand warmers. Just sit on your hands. Let the directed cam do its work.
Sit on your hands and do camera work with your forehead.
Yeah, you could always do that too. All right, think of some more things, syndereN. What, as a player, like actually this is a good question because you're very low maintenance. So as a player, what would you get annoyed about that organizers would not always have ready
so
for
something that's within their control.
you? Yeah.
A very unstable connection would be probably number one.
Okay.
Not enough space, which is not really a problem anymore, but old LANs back in Dota 1, or maybe in the start of Dota 2 even, would have table setups where you didn't have room enough for all your gear without being squeezed too much together. I think that would be
Well, that was back in the day when
frustrating
mouse
too.
pads were a normal size. Now they're just as big as the entire desk.
Yeah. Now
Of course,
people
that's
have
more
these.
prevalent in Counter-Strike, but still. Oh my God, it's going to be unpaused.
Okay, here we go.
We don't have to talk about the history of pauses in Dota 2. Never mind. Let's
Just
continue.
kidding. Rock and roll.
You know, maybe C9 just gets a bad rap. Maybe HGT and other teams, they take advantage of this situation, and they start pausing so people... Actually, there's a horse. Who typed the horse?
We hope you guys... that was Big Daddy No Tell.
That's my boy.
We hope you guys enjoyed the half a second of actual game coverage we got there.
Well, what
Or
have we
maybe last
learned so
quarter.
far? What did we learn in that half second? That Juggernaut is going towards top lane. That's shocking.
Yeah. Well, Big Daddy No Tell still hitting bottom
All right,
of
well,
this ward.
we might as well continue our conversation, so keep going. So you were talking about stuff that was... Give me something that is not normal, a normal complaint. Like space, not really an issue anymore. And everything else you mentioned, which I've already forgotten because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay, so now I need to come up with something that would annoy me, not something that...
So there's nothing in the past that's annoyed you that was kind of unique.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think so, but some things I could imagine would be either having extremely long days or starting extremely early. It's also not ideal if the players need to start playing at like 5 or 6 a.m. or something like that to make the day schedule work out. I think that's too early.
I've never actually seen No Tail in a Cloud9 jersey before.
Oh, you haven't?
No. First time.
He's having a good time. Hey guys, I just wrote a horse in chat. I don't have the horse. Hi, Envy. That's because you don't have the compendium.
It's because you didn't play in our tournament.
Well, I don't give a shit, dude. I have other emotes. Look at this. : anime girl :
Then they'd never put that in. Never.
No
Actually,
Tail's
that's a good
like,
idea. Maybe we should
"That's
put that in. Cater for all the anime fans out there.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me, as a
okay.
player, you've already failed at this, by the way. You gave me nothing interesting to work
Oh,
with, so we're gonna move on.
I feel like the way you put it is really good. I'm probably just low maintenance. I think it would take something drastic for me to get really annoyed with it.
Okay.
So you can maybe imagine something. I don't know.
No, I can't.
I mean, I could obviously come up with... I would get frustrated if I've gone through 4 computers and none of them worked, right? But, I mean, that's obvious, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
All right, what is
Cheating.
cheating?
Yeah. That would get me really annoyed. If people are dishonest,
What are the
but
easiest
obviously.
ways to cheat at a LAN for Dota?
I
Like
don't know.
cell phone in the pocket kind of thing, or
Bribe the guard?
bribe? There's a guard now.
Well, bribe the whoever is... Oh, what do you call them? The
Admins.
Is it... Would you call it an
Referee?
admin? Whoever... Referee? Are the referees the ones that sit in the room and make sure no one's cheating?
Ref, admin.
Oh.
They're probably interchangeable to some degree. Sure.
So bribe the ref?
Yeah, bribe the ref. Okay.
If you don't do... I don't know what else you could do.
Well, what do you
That's really...
what do you do though physically? If you bribe the ref, he's just gonna turn
okay.
a blind eye. Then what do? You turn on your Steam and you talk to your friends.
So if
mean,
there's
there's a
no delay,
delay.
you could technically do that. But this tournament is actually running 2-minute delay now, so you can't even do
But
that.
okay, so wards last for 6 minutes.
Yes.
So that's 4 minutes.
That's probably
of
the
intel.
only thing you could really do is to get intel on long-lasting things on the map, such as wards and If you're playing against something really gimmicky like Ag's Tree or something like that. Like you could get pointers, you could get information on items if you haven't seen Heroes for 2 minutes or so. But I mean, first of all, I think at all of these LAN events, that's impossible. If you want to,
nothing is impossible. I mean, let's
okay.
Look at it this
sure.
way. Let's say you don't even use a cell phone. Let's say you put like some transmitter that vibrates next to your testicles or something like that.
You're such an evil mastermind.
They use Morse code for you to know, like your balls just tingle, right? And you know, like you have the system already in place. You have everything learned before, and it's all premeditated.
Do you feel like that's worth the effort to learn that?
It might be. Nobody's gonna check down there, syndereN. Okay. We aren't at that stage in Dota 2 where you get a cavity search before a Dota game. So.
I think ESL won New York.
They did that?
We went through metal detectors.
Oh, that's true, because it's Madison Square Garden. Okay.
Yeah. So we were checked for metal.
You could just say you have like a fake hip or something, like an aluminum hip, because it'll always go off in the metal detectors. They'll say, no, you're only 25. I'm like, I have problems.
And then there's a whole team that walks in. We all have a fake hip each.
No, only one person needs to have intel, though. That's
okay, and then he tells all the others.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, all right, I just got a little tingling sensation.
I feel like this is reaching absurd levels where, yes, it's technically possible, but who the hell does that?
I'm giving ideas to people out there because it makes things... Everybody wants some drama in their life. syndereN, okay?
This has been a long pause.
Yep. Well,
Okay.
at least we have things to talk about. That's
true.
The beauty of
You
this
always come up with these
relationship.
great topics.
Hey, you would never have thought of that without
No,
me.
definitely.
So got to give me some credit.
Definitely not.
All right, we can move on to other things.
All right,
if you
so
want.
actually, if you want to know, quote unquote, the easiest way to cheat, that's abusing pauses.
Okay.
It's not technically a cheat because it's part of the game, but pausing at tactical situations can really win you a game, and that's why I think a tournament like TI, the players are informed at the beginning that it's strictly disallowed to pause unless you have a technical issue. But then once again, if we're talking about theory, you can pause and be like, lag, or my PC isn't working, and then when they come in and try to help you, you're like, oh, it resolved itself, right? So I mean, yes, you can.
All right, what do you think about the pause system now? So the thing that bothers me about pauses is when you hit pause, it instantly pauses. Do you think there should be a countdown? Like you hit it and then 3, 2, 1, pause, so that people can at least adapt?
That is better sometimes and worse other times, because that also means that you can plan for something and then pause in advance, right? So you can be like, in 3 seconds we want to do this, so you pause and then you begin your thing because you have exact timing on that, maybe? So let's say when the pause counter begins on the screen, you need to still be able to use your hero, right?
Yeah.
So then technically you are able to position yourself perfectly before the pause starts. But that's the same for both teams. I still think the team that initiates the pause has an advantage though, because they're ready for it to happen already. So I don't know. I think there's strengths and weaknesses to both. Ideally at LAN events, pauses are just how to put it? Ideally pauses would be players would be unable to pause, but they could request it, and then the admin would pause for them. I think that's the ideal system. And then in addition to the automated pause when someone disconnects. So the players won't have the power of freezing time when they want, but they need to tell the referee, hey, something isn't working, can we please have a pause? And then they pause.
You can certainly abuse the disconnect feature.
Yeah, in theory.
I mean, you just hit disconnect.
Just disconnect. I don't think it instantly registers that you're DC'd, because first you remember when a hero DCs, it's like he runs back toward base for like 5 seconds, and then he DCs, and then the game pauses. So then you need to plan really. You need to be a mastermind. Like, okay, now I can afford to run back to base 5 seconds for the outcome we get for that. I don't know. But it's a hot topic, I think, pausing in general. It's a necessary part of the game, but at the same time, it's like a necessary evil in a way. That we would rather be without it, but I think the best solution I can come up with is having players ask permission and admin allowing. But then there's pressure on the admins to be fair with the pauses too. But I guess that's better than the players having.
So you're supposed to just say, admin, pause it, and they come pause it.
Yeah, for example, be like, hey, can we have a pause, please? And then if the admin sees it's in the middle of a team fight, they say no. And then if you mess something up,
so you
that's
don't think
unfortunate.
pauses should ever be allowed during a team fight?
Let's say a computer crashes, a player uses completely loses control of his hero or something like that, then yes.
How do you prove that, though?
If they are missing a hotkey, then no, that's their own fault and their own problem, right? If they haven't set it up properly. I guess the best way of proving it is when the admin is in the room with the players, like, for example, I think there's an admin in each booth here, and I think it's the same setup they run at TI, then the players can ask permission. Or if you see the game crashes instantly, the admin can click a pause button. He has, like, let's say he just has a physical button that pauses the game.
That would be... Yeah.
Like a big red button.
Big F9 button that he just holds in his lap. It takes up his whole lap.
Like the day 9 GG button. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's so good. GG!
I like that.
We need that pause.
All right, what do you think about... I've always thought about this because I come from a Counter-Strike. Actually, this has nothing to do with Counter-Strike now that I think about it, because it's more prevalent in Dota, if anything. With all the hotkeys, I would love to have... I think they have them. I just haven't really looked too into it. Foot pedals as keys.
For Dota?
Yeah, because if you think about it, Dota's a game about efficiency, right? You're using all 5 fingers. You're not using your feet at all for anything.
So if you're playing Beastmaster or Magnus, you can use the foot pedal to use the kick animation.
No, that's useless. It's just an extra couple hotkeys. Or you could bind them to your toes. It'd be more like one for your left foot, one for your right foot.
I don't see the problem with that. I think that should be allowed, technically. I mean,
but why? It's not that whether it should be allowed or not. It's why hasn't anything like that become popular at all?
I simply don't think you need that many hotkeys. That's the thing, right? Most people have a mouse.
I can imagine
mouse
Invoker with your feet.
Most people have anywhere between 2 and 4 hotkeys on their mouse, and then you have all the spell hotkeys on the keyboard. You have inventory on the keyboard, or partially keyboard, partially mouse. Like, what else do you need hotkeys for? Control group, your hero, your courier. If you want to do secondary control groups, like having only 2 of the units in there, or maybe 3 out of 4, or whatever.
Well, you could even look at it this way. So some people do quick cast, right? But sometimes they enable it in the middle of a game.
Oh, so you could have a pedal toggle on and
toggle?
off. That's true. You could use it as a toggle. That's okay.
And then what if the other one does horse emote every time?
Man, that's legit.
Just auto horse emote.
I actually think so. If Arteezy gets this pedal idea, he's going to use the macro the command he has in his. It's not a macro. It's just a keybind. The keybind he has to check the runes, for example, which I think he popularized. You
Top
could have
and
on
bottom rune.
Right and left pedal. That's true.
That's pretty good.
But it's again, he already has it bound to key, and is it more? It's maybe like. Is that efficiency really worth it? Right.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Having that on the feet, you think is worth it?
All right. Well, do you know what he's bound it to?
No idea.
I mean, there's no way it's on his home. Like, how do I explain this? He would probably have to move his hand to get to that key.
Yeah.
Unless he just has no other binds.
Else he would have to move his foot to get to that pedal.
The foot is on the pedal.
He still needs to move his foot.
Yes, but you don't need to move the hand that's already on much more important keys. Efficiency. I'm surprised the Chinese haven't done it yet. This is a brilliant idea.
I think in terms of overall game efficiency and how much effort they put into being as efficient as possible over the map, I don't think the Chinese players are actually being more efficient than the Western players. I think at least the ones that talk about it the most, Eternal Envy and Arteezy, I think are the efficiency brothers.
Yeah.
Although they're not really brothers. The Chinese teams, they're also really efficient, but I don't know if... Maybe it's just because we don't know them so well, because we don't read as many of their thoughts and their interviews and stuff like that, but like from the gameplay and how they approach the game, I don't feel like there is... If there is a gap, I think it's toward the West. There might be none, honestly. Starting to draw circles here. That's not really a circle.
Wepis, tell us a story.
Wepis, write a joke on the minimap.
That is a joke. Actually, your minimap looks different than mine. Look at mine. It's all
yeah, you have
diamond-y.
the what's that called? The triangle bug.
Yeah. All right, what
that is
hero?
so weird.
Let's think of something else to talk about, aka another Seinfeld episode, also known as Nothing. So just to recap, since this is one of the longer pauses that we've had, this is a best of 3 between C9 and HGT. Game 1 was just underway. We had 5 or 6 pauses to the point where Fata has finally gotten to about the area of the fountain itself. Oh, tic-tac-toe. That's pretty good.
I wonder if he can lose to himself in tic-tac-toe.
I'm sure it's possible.
Well, if you win, you technically lose as well, right? If you're only playing against yourself.
Yep.
But, okay, I just got this thought that let's say this game continues this way in relative play to pause time. How long would this game be?
2 years.
2 years?
Yes.
Right, that was really fast.
Unless they had foot pedals,
How?
then it'll be a little bit faster.
Okay, how long actual game time have we had? The game starts with the timer on 1:30, right? Or is it 1:45? I actually can't remember, which is kind of bad. I think it's 1:30. So if it starts on 1:30, we've had 11 seconds of game time. And I want to say we're closing in on half an hour of pause or 20 minutes. What do you
20
think?
minutes
20
probably
minutes?
more accurate.
Okay, so 20 minutes is 1,200 seconds.
Okay.
So we've had 1% play and 99% pause. That would mean... So 1%. So if a game is... Let's say the game is 1 hour. Then we would have 100 hours of pause. Which is round about 4.5 days.
So 2 years.
So 2 years is pretty accurate.
Okay, good. Oh, let's do the top. Can they hear us right now?
All right,
Brian?
here come the top plays.
I would love to cast this right now in a very monotone voice. Eternal Envy gets right-click to death. This is the number.
Top plays from day 2. The top plays from day 1 were I think we named them top mediocre plays of day 1 because it was definitely
They
not
were
the best.
not
But this is from
mediocre.
yesterday.
They were beyond awful. Oh, here we have an RP. That was pretty good.
Good RP. He runs away.
There's the Ravage hitting nothing again, so it just seems
This-
to be a trend with these plays.
Running back and forth, missing a shockwave, and they escape. So,
Is this the play? Is it done? Everybody, this is gonna be the first.
oh,
play where
I
everybody
remember
lives.
this.
Oh,
This is
boy.
actually a good play. This is
Okay,
cool.
Okay.
So Super dives in. They get 3.
Oh.
This is from I think it's day 2 of the group stage,
And
right?
it just ends abruptly.
Yeah, that was the end of the play, actually. I think no one else died.
Okay.
As a ward, Fata going to jump onto Puppy.
Secret versus C9.
Oh, this is the Techies game.
Oh my. Well, nice Culling Blade action. Sonic Wave.
S4 go to town. Now, I remember this play too. Okay, they've stepped it up. Like these plays are more impressive than the ones on day 1.
Marginally. I'm not impressed yet. Well, we're gonna get to the top. Once we get to the top 3, I'm expecting big things. Like a base race, maybe. Okay, this is just a huge team fight with stuff happening everywhere. Lots of colorful flashes.
So it's really difficult in this fight to actually see what's going on because there's like 10 heroes on top of each other. But ultimately, HR lose 4. I remember this game very clearly. They should have totally won this. The Slark was 20-0. I think this is his first death of the game. I do believe so, yeah. He lost his Beyond Godlike.
So
streak.
what was the top play there exactly? It was just, I mean, is it a top play or is it just like this is a team fight that made a big difference in the game?
This is a question. And they're calling it top, right?
Yeah.
So, top most important play.
That'd be a
top
good
most
series
impressive. Oh, that's a good Sonic, I think. Maybe.
name.
Decent Ice Blast. Oh, that's a good Requiem. That was pretty nice. They hit quite a lot of legit spells there. They're going to get all 5.
I don't know. I guess for top plays, I'm more
remember
looking
this.
for like individual plays that are impressive as opposed to just team fights. Team fights are just...
I hope so. So a good example would be yesterday. So this is obviously not from yesterday, but when Puppy test-faithed a wolf, he took over the other one with Holy Persuasion, and he still died. But just that mini play, even though he dies, for me, is a top play. Like
I
that,
don't even
the
think I
presence
saw
of
that
mind
play.
in that moment was really good.
Well, you
That's
could put
kind
the
of stuff.
no-tail blocking the pounce.
The pounce block, also
was
good.
really good.
Yeah, that was also really good. Yes.
So stuff like that is what I look for. These are just team fights.
Oh, this game, man. This is Vici's most embarrassing loss of the tournament. That game, you didn't get to see it.
Nope.
But they were ahead by 20 or 25,000 gold against LGD, and then they lost when they pushed in. So here we go. Pretty decent chain frost. It's actually bouncing a hell of a lot here. This game was very, very close, by the way. Secrets, I think the game they were closest to losing in the group stage, as a matter of fact, here against C-Deck. They isolate the Shadow Fiend, kill him off, and still, this is kind of a seems very standard for a third.
I'm going on a limb and say that these are not top plays. They're just like highlights. Not even highlights. This is what happened. This is the end of the game. This is a recap almost.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh well, the
I
clip
have a
isn't
hard
over
time.
yet.
It's not going to go anywhere, syndereN. Lots of buybacks though. That's for sure.
TZ hits. Oh, it's a good skewer from S4. And okay, Ortiz dies. He has buyback. Venge dies as well. At this point, it looks like syndereN could have won this game, which
I'm
they
just
definitely
waiting
had
for the clip
opportunities
to end abruptly, like right before a kill happens.
Oh, they kill each other. Bristle's dead for 2 minutes. Pretty important. And okay.
That was very long, drawn
Very
out.
good
and
zoom out toward the end.
Okay, if you want.
Oh, that's a good skewer from... Oh, I remember this fight too. This is actually legit.
All right, we'll see. I'll be the judge of that. I'm very hard to please. I'm high maintenance when it comes to top plays.
Look at that Witch Doctor ultimate laying into him. They get stoned by Sylar. People dying.
Oh, nice cancel of the TP.
This is...
I'm going to still say no. Sorry.
Okay.
And the #1 play of day 2. Incoming.
Secret syndereN again toward the end. This is actually right after the clip we saw before with Bristleback dying, and now Secret are going for Megas in bot lane with the familiars. They will be getting it. And syndereN have their backs against the wall. So this is basically a base race. These are generally really good top plays for #1s if they get really exciting. Air Force 1 by Kuroki in the Dire base. Radiant.
Yeah, now we're just playing SimCity. I really don't like when people unzoom this much.
Alright, so this is Dota 2 for Ants. Arteezy is playing a very little wolf. And they've sold, I think they sold 2 or 3 items to buy Boots of Travel. Port in here. The glyph is up. There's no TPs on the Dire.
They got it.
Garter comes in with his Skywrath Mage. Dies. Okay, doesn't. Now he dies. And GG.
Actually, we have a recap of day 1 of main event on our channel, which I haven't even got to watch yet. If the pause becomes even more ridiculous, then maybe we can play it. But considering they're saying 1 sec, it seems like C9's the one now pausing. Surprise.
It's about time.
It's about time. Who says that?
Hail, it's about time.
Yeah.
That is... Damn, why can't I remember his name? It's something with T, and he is from StarCraft 2.
Actually, I don't remember the actual name.
Tychus Finley.
Is it Tychus? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
I was just going to say it's a Marine. But all right, we're back in the game, friends. If you stuck with us all this time, give us a little tweet telling us that we're not the worst people in the world. And we appreciate it, of course.
You can also... You can distinguish between us. You can say... You're the worst, and I'm okay.
That's fine. If
That's
you want
fine,
to do
right?
that, that's
Separate
that's
us.
perfectly
We're not
fine
one
as well.
entity.
So hopefully the players have not forgotten how to play Dota in that pause period. But we went over the lineups. I think we should do it again, honestly.
Yeah, it's been a long pause.
So
let's do
you do HGT this time. I'll do Cloud9.
Okay, so HGT. We've got Kaka playing Rubik, not Phoenix, even though that would be a very fitting hero for his nickname. We've got Pretty Haw onto the Skywrath Mage. Air will be playing as Troll Warlord. Icy onto the Axe, moving toward top. And then finally, Z SMJ.
Thank you.
You proud of me? Playing as the Bristleback.
Eternal Enemy is going to be playing the Juggernaut, while Lich is going to be played by Misery. I haven't seen that hero very often. Big Daddy No Tail on the Lion. Fata, the mid Beastmaster, and last but not least, Bone 7 on Nature's Prophet. I'm really hoping that Bone 7 does not feed this game. And I mean that in a good way, because, of course I mean that in a good way. What else would I mean that in? But he's been getting a bad rap. Not that he's played particularly great, but they've picked him, and again, we don't know exactly the story, right? They picked him like 3 different heroes this whole tournament, and a lot of them were Legion Commander in games that Legion Commander has no business being picked, in my opinion at least. Nature's Prophet, have we seen him play Nature's Prophet? This group
I think he's played it once or twice. I want to say they lost with it the one game I saw.
Okay.
But I'm not completely sure.
You thought it was going to be a dual lane bottom, but for now at least, Misery is going to be mid, along with Fata. I'm going to be forcing out air on the Troll Warlord.
Wow, that's a pretty incredible stat, actually. I thought dual lane, off lane Lich was way more successful, but it's got a 60% win rate, or 58 by dual laning mid, and 24% win rate dual lane off lane. That's really low.
That is interesting.
So, well, so far so good for Cloud9 then. They're dual laning mid, so that's a start.
No Tail taking some harassment at top. Misery's going to continue the pressure with the Frost Blast onto air in mid. The question is he ever going to get support himself. I'm wondering if the lanes are going to stay static the way they are now. Top lane looks like... Who is that? Oh, Bear. They're going to actually go for this. Misery. It's going to take 2, maybe 3. Actually, 2 might be enough. Going to get the courier. Unfortunately, there was nothing on it, but still, 3 minutes on the deck for that courier. And Troll, he's stuck with the 5 tangos. Make that 4 for the next few minutes.
Yeah, I think the timing, playing against this dual lane mid is probably going to be that he has his bottle around the time when it respawns in 3 minutes. He should not be getting that many CS playing against Beastmaster Lich. Still doing a decent job getting 4 so far, as Axe is just way ahead of everyone. He hasn't missed he's missed 1 creep so far, I think. He's going to go in on Envy, who used his spin.
Boy.
This is bad news for Cloud9 in the beginning.
Bone7 is here. He's going to sprout his teammate in there as well. Juggernaut, one more right click takes him down. This first blood going the way of HGT. They do get the trade, C9 does. The Axe for the Jug, but of course the experience goes Axe's way. Healing Ward.
Is he trying to block with it?
I don't know.
You can't do that, right?
You can't do that. I think
it
maybe
has a collision size of 0. I think.
It gives vision though, right? So.
Oh, they were in the middle of the lane at daytime.
Well, he might have wrapped around to the side shop.
That's true, I guess. Generally, you prioritize healing your teammates over running and healing ward next to the enemies, though. But, you know.
Oh, but they weren't. Yeah, but there was no aggression being had.
Yeah, it's true.
HGT.
So that was a 1 for
9
2.
gets 2 in the end.
This is one of Bone7's specialties when he's playing Nature's Prophet. He loves TPing to help out other lanes that are in the early game. And as a result, we're probably going to swap the lanes for a bit for Cloud9. They now have a safe lane Prophet with phase boots and level 4 minute 2. That's pretty extremely good. So Bone7 gets off to a good start, as you talked about. Important for Cloud9 to get him a good game. And they're going to move the Juggernaut to bottom, though, which I'm a little bit more concerned for them about, playing him against a Bristle who has a very big head start in farm.
Well, Kakan pretty harsh. Smoked up right now. They're going to find No-Tail. This is going to be a big sandwich to eat. It's going to be delicious. And here we go. Arcane Bolt, concussive shot, Berserker's Rage.
Oh, what?
He got denied.
He died to that one skeleton.
Which one was it?
There was one skeleton from the troll.
The troll skeleton?
The dark troll summoner. One skeleton killed him.
Oh my god. That is such bad luck. That does like 8 damage, I want to say.
They hit a little harder than that, because I think their damage type is not piercing, it's normal, but... Oh god, that's like... I think that is the most unfortunate neutral kill I have ever seen, even more than the classic Satyrs just throwing out random shockwaves.
Satyrs are pretty common these days, yeah, that's true.
That was just ridiculous. And I think Axe was extremely close to calling the creep as well with his Berserker's Call, but didn't get the aggro on it, and then No-Tail. And I have never seen that before. That was funny.
Well, No-Tail's going to come back with a fresh life. Frost Blast applied from Misery and a pretty hob, but no more aggression will come for C9. Icy and company. They're just going to take out these treants for now. Doesn't look like any action will happen top for the time being. Bottom lane, we can talk about the CS, I guess. Juggernaut 13-2 versus Bristleback 24-6. Of course, he wasn't here at the beginning, was Eternal Envy. But the nice thing is this healing ward is going to be quite helpful, because there's no way ZSMJ is going to be able to catch him and get that, at least not at this stage of the game.
Yeah, he's going to wait until the healing ward expires, and then he'll put on some pressure. Eternal Envy has 4 tangos, so he can force Envy to dig through those fairly quickly. Or burn through those, rather, with a couple of sprays here. Envy can't afford to get stacked up too hard. He doesn't even have a magic stick either, which is kind of a problem.
Are you surprised by the mid CS? Beastmaster fought to 22-7 versus Troll 14-3 at the current moment in time. Of course, Lich did start out. Actually, he's back in mid again.
This is, if anything, the one getting more than he should is Troll, I think. He could lose the lane a little harder, but he's still fairly good at farming with Whirling Axes, of course, and I think this is actually what is, all in all, what is to be expected of this laning. But HGT, they're getting a lot more out of the 2 other lanes, so I don't think this trade-off for Cloud9 is necessarily that good. They are leading on Golden Experience, though, mainly attributed to Bone7's early game here. He is very rich, sitting at the highest net worth in the game. And another thing about Cloud9 is that they've secured both their supports boots, which is also very important. You often see Liches struggle to get gold because they sacrifice themselves a lot and sacrifice the creeps in the lane. But Misery has what he needs for now.
Well, ZSMJ was scouting a bit at bottom lane. His top lane in the meantime. Axe and company want to get aggressive. Here comes the Impale though on Kaka. TP support is on the way. Big Daddy No-Tail gets silenced. Fade Bolt not quite going to be enough to take him out. In fact, the right clicks will take down Kaka in the end. And Big Daddy No-Tail, he gets Berserker Call through the Sprout. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade for now. As Pretty Ha goes down to the right clicks. And this is a disastrous landing stage now for HGT at this top lane. They lose all 3, and all they get is the poor Lion. Played by No-Tail.
They cannot go for dives like this. They're playing a lane with Axe against triple range, and they're diving the tower when Prophet has Phase Boots and Sprout, and the Lich easily TPs in there. So great response for Cloud9. HGT, they just need to be more patient, I think. Wait until Axe gets his blink, which he wasn't far away from, but now that they're forcing the issue so much, it gets delayed quite a bit. And Eternal Envious also reached level 6 in that off lane. He's going to leave it, heading in toward mid, as he has the Hawk on his side, spotting out air.
And he has Omni Slash ready to go.
He's going to wait.
I don't think
And
the
they know
courier
he's
was close
there.
enough to scout him out.
Gets pinged out by Skywrath. ZSMJ is like, okay, I had an opponent down here for 4 minutes in a row. He's gone. So what he might not expect is that he actually comes back with some friends.
Yep, you can call them friends, I suppose, as No-Tail's going to probably start out with a Hex into Impale. There's TP support. They're going to back up, though. Telekinesis finds No-Tail, brings him back. Silence from Ancient Ceiling. Skywrath Mage. One more right click will finish him off, and down he goes. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, though. Bristleback did die in the end, as syndereN is laughing maniacally in the background. Why?
I'm getting this image in my head of what an Ancient Ceiling looks like.
Ancient Ceiling Skywrath Mage. It's like
An Ancient Ceiling.
Yeah, Ancient Ceiling. I thought you were laughing at something happening in the game. I thought I missed something.
No.
You're just laughing at me talking. Thank you.
Ancient Ceiling. That's amazing. I love that.
Well,
Oh, here's the
mid lane
roar.
into a Chain Frost.
Very nice
Troll is
kill.
extremely dead.
Great setup. Only one creep in the neighborhood. Makes for a very easy Chain Frost.
It's like saying a roaring Beastmaster.
I know what you were
A Chain
saying.
Frosting Lich.
You don't need to explain it.
Ancient Ceiling.
It just sounds so good. An Ancient Ceiling takes me back to the Roman Empire. Okay, so
Fair
8 and 4 for Cloud9. They're ahead by 3,000 gold and 2,500 XP. Getting a couple of very good fights. I think that bottom fight could have maybe gone even better. Eternal Envy seemed to overestimate the tankability of Bristleback, who was level 7 at the time, had 4 in Quill Spray, only 1 in Bristleback, so he could have easily carved through him with an Omni Slash, but he saved it, he got another kill instead, and all in all, the outcome for Cloud9 still easily very favorable.
I see about to pick up his Blink Dagger, and
There we
there it
go.
is. It could be a big surprise factor for his first initiation. The question is, does he want to show it? And this could be a really easy kill on No-Tail if No-Tail gets a little bit closer to the creeps. It's not going to happen yet. He's waiting for No-Tail to get a little bit further up. Oh boy. He's going to right into him. But of course, No-Tail does have a couple disables to work with in the Impale. Gets the Berserker's Call off, though. Icy does into a Battle Hunger. He gets sheeped right away. No-Tail on the run. He's going to live. And they know he has a Blink Dagger, even though he didn't use it.
Yeah, no spins on that opener.
Would that have mattered, though? One spin? I don't know.
I think that might have been enough
I
to
think
get
it
him
would
in.
take
He would
at
have
least 2 spins.
almost
for
been brought in calling
Blade.
range. How much armor does Lion have right now? He has 5. And the spin deals 205, I believe, yeah. So, nah, probably not actually. Calling range.
Well, again, we'll just talk about it. Bone 7, top of the net worth chart. Over 1,000 more than Axe, who's been getting whatever he wants in that top lane, aside from the 1 death that we saw earlier. Actually, was it 2 deaths? He
On
traded
Axe,
First
yeah,
Blood.
He's died twice.
That's right. But I would say he's been fairly successful in the top lane overall. What does Nature's Prophet get this game? Do you go Orchid right away? Do you go for a little bit of DPS or even farming capabilities, Desolator or Maelstrom, something to that effect? He seems to be very active.
Yeah.
He has the Midas, by the way.
I think Bone 7's go-to build at this point is Orchid.
Oh, mid lane,
wait
you
a
get to
second.
hold your horses. syndereN Fata gets initiated on by the amalgamation of HGT. A big Chain Frost comes out and a roar as well. The Chain Frost is going to continue to bounce, and Bone 7 is there. He's going to finish off Rubik with these, and Air falls in the end. That is 4 dead for HGT, and all C9 loses is Fata, who was the one that got initiated on to begin with.
Yeah, they killed Bristleback bottom at the same time with Lion and Juggernaut. That Chain Frost and Roar combination, perfect from Cloud9. They've shown up today. That was a beautiful play. See, that's the one that should be in top plays right there. That was incredibly
It won't
well
be. I can guarantee you. They only take late game team fights where you can't tell what's going on because you haven't been watching the game in its fullest extent.
All right,
Looks
here
like
goes
tier
the
1.
tower.
Down it goes.
And Bone 7 is level 11 at minute 11 on this Prophet now. 2,500
Pick this
gold
man,
in the bank.
Nature's Prophet, every game. Tell you what.
It's certainly been working out very well in this one. With the early aggression top lane that they got to punish, this is where Prophet is very much at home. We're going to see his decision. I think the Orchid is not a bad choice when you get it this extremely early. It allows him to solo kill any support on the Radiant as long as he finds a one-on-one. Alternatively, like you said, can go for a Maelstrom to ramp up his farm if he wants to take the carry route, which they might actually be thinking about since they have a single core Juggernaut else, and or physical damage core rather, as I'm hearing a call.
No till Berserker's calls there. Doesn't look like he's going to get much support other than Misery. It's going to be enough, though, surprisingly enough. But the thing I do like about Nature's Prophet in this specific game is that Bone7's being active. Personally, I can't stand watching just sitting in the jungle type pub style. Not to name names, which I'm not going to actually, but some players in the past have played a little bit more passively than I'd like to see.
Not Bone7.
Right.
Yes. You said you didn't want to name names, then we just cleared that out.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Midas on Lich. Wow.
Yes. Oh, Prophet's porting
He is
top.
6-0. That is
He's
insane.
going to maybe find an opening here on Icy, who blinks fast, can get sprouted.
He gets sprouted, roared, but
Yeah,
looks like C9 wants to back up. The couple TP support. ZSMJ finds the goo onto Fata. Fata gets his own slow onto ZSMJ. Bone7, Sprout should be up relatively shortly if he really needs to use him. He's getting initiated on with the Berserker's Call of Ice. Somehow the Chain Frost is off cooldown this early. It's going to bounce quite a bit. Kaka taking a lot of damage along with ZSMJ. The bounces continue. One more right click's going to finish off Kaka, but they're not going to find it. Somehow, no casualties. That Chain Frost... Okay, we were talking about this pre-game, how Lich a lot of times can be super underwhelming. It's because the consistency of Chain Frost is, well, it's not consistent at all.
Yeah.
This game has been ridiculous.
He's been really good. He's 6-0-3. He has a Midas.
We just said that.
He has a Midas.
We just said he was level 6 as well. Or not level 6. He had 6 kills.
And a Midas. And his Chain Frost this game, we talked about it before the game, how it's been really inconsistent. His Chain Frost this game have been amazing.
Wait, no, they've been consistent.
They've been consistent, yeah. They've been really good.
Eternal Enemy picks up a Mask of Madness. You know, sometimes I can't tell if you're joking because this actually happens on a consistent basis as well. It's a normal thing, I guess.
Can happen, yeah.
Nature's Prophet. Yeah, it looks like he's going Maelstrom unless he wants to get a second hand of Midas, which won't work, so probably not going to be the case. What do you think of Maelstrom this game? Like, Orchid is good for ganking, Maelstrom a little bit better for pushing. Looks as if they want Roche.
Yeah, I think Maelstrom is fine. Cloud9 are in a dominating position now where they can simply outfarm their opponents and look for a timing push, let's
I
say
didn't even realize he had a blink, by
15 or 20 minutes down the line. Yeah, he has. This was his first pickup after the Midas, together with the gloves. That was pretty obvious, but anyway. I think the Maelstrom is fine. Just if Cloud9 focus on farming and controlling the map, they're going to be doing just fine in this game. It's not HGT. Sure, they've got good late game with Bristle and Troll, but it's not outrageous as long as they don't get extreme farm. And well, they're playing against a lineup that has double Midas and a Maelstrom coming up for the Prophet. Like you're never going to outfarm this team. It's just impossible with their draft.
Uh-oh, no tail.
No life.
A lot of burst damage. The Culling Blade finishes him off. But at the same time, a Necro level 2 was picked up by Fata on the Beastmaster. And Lich going for a Mechanism. Not going to be that far off considering how much farm they're getting.
Might feel this coming. He does not have direct vision.
I've seen a lot of Beastmasters not go for Blink first. They go straight Necro.
This Rubik is super dead.
And the Roar.
Just kidding.
Soon to come, I'm sure.
Not going yet.
Here he goes. Yeah. Fata Roar. Oh, it doesn't have vision.
Whoa.
The Hawk not giving vision that far.
A little bit of a mistake there.
What does he steal here?
He gets a boar.
Man, that boar.
It's actually going to keep Fata at bay for now.
Now he knows how annoying that freaking minion is. But there is support on the way for HGT. In all likelihood, C9 will have to fall back.
This is actually funny. Did you notice the boar he makes does not have the cosmetic of the enemy boar?
Yeah, that's normal for all those steals.
So you can't... You actually can't get a Rubik steal of that looks the same as the opponent. It's impossible because you obviously can't have the that item. Yeah, they have. Cloud9 are in a really good position, as stated by the stat. The best start to a game, at least as far as kills go, at this point in time for them. And if we talk about map control, they've only managed to take one tier 1, which I think they might have actually been able to grab a little bit more than that, but for now it's easily enough. And whenever they feel like it's the right time, they can go, because as mentioned before, they're not really under any sort of pressure in terms
What's
of timing.
HGT's plan here? And they have some push from Troll, and I guess with Battle Trance to some degree, Bristleback as well. Not really much from everybody else, honestly, as far as right click is concerned. Their team fight isn't great. They have good initiation from Axe, good burst damage from Skywrath Mage, but their lineup just doesn't look like they're amazing at any one particular thing, if that makes sense.
They're good at spinning.
That's true. That's actually an extremely good point. No-Tail's going to take the silence for Pretty Ha. He's going to take most of the damage, and down he goes. Bone 7 from the trees he comes. And the tier 1 tower in all likelihood will be next on the list.
HGT will be trading that tower in Skywrath for their own ancient stack, which is not really a trade, because they should have got that anyway. So ultimately end up losing even more on the map. This tower, I've talked about it at length, not in this game, but in general this tournament, how important it is to get the safe lane tower of the opponent to get access to the jungle and exert your dominance on the map. And Cloud9 now with mid and bottom tower claimed will probably start branching out and will now have control of 60 to 70% of the map instead of 50.
This is probably the first time that I've seen an early Roche from C9 where the Aegis does not end up in Envy's inventory. Does he just not trust Bone 7 that much? It's like, you've been feeding all tournament. You will take this Aegis. I don't care
You're
if you're
doing
the top
great
farm
for
in the
now,
game.
but I know you're going to fuck up. So here's an Aegis.
Pretty much. Fortification pop for the tier 1 top, but it's only going to delay the inevitable, as it will fall to the ground.
I honestly think the reason they're putting it on Bone 7 is that he has the kill streak out of the 2 that got the Roche. So Envy is 0-1-4, and Bone 7 is 4-0-6. He has the highest net worth too, so should the enemy team kill him, the rubber band effect is going to hurt harder when they lose the profit. I think it's just a classic hashtag EE math efficiency to give that to Bone 7.
You did not just say that.
I did not.
Okay, good.
Whatever you heard was not what I said.
ZSMJ finds himself in the river next to, or close to, an invisible Eternal Envy as his tier 2 tower is taking a beating bottom.
Oh
They do have the
man, he
fortification, they
is
wanna
in
use it.
such a good position with the Invis rune.
Oh boy. There's a sentry there spotting him out. Fortifications popped. Wow, Finger of Death and the Wrath of Nature is enough to take out just the Rubik. No-Tail will trade his life. He'll be fine with that, I suppose. As Envy apparently used Omni Slash. Is he going to be able to get this kill? It's going to take a couple more right clicks.
Oh.
Mask of Madness
Close.
will wear off.
Yeah, he stopped the TP with that Omni Slash. ZSMJ was trying to port bottom to assist in that fight, and stopping the TP with Omni Slash, even though he didn't get the kill, probably worth it for the setup they got bottom and securing the tower.
Oh my, the burst damage onto Fada. Ooh! Delicious amount of damage. Was that tower denied, by the way?
Yes, by
Okay.
Axe.
That's what I figured. And they helped get a kill. So 14-8. C9 still has the kill advantage. Not that that really matters at all, but in case you were wondering. But I'm still just blown away by Bone 7 right now. His net worth 2K above everybody else. Of course, it is a Nature's Prophet, so has the capabilities of farming quite well. On top of the Midas that he obviously picked up quite a while ago. It's good to see a little bit of a breakout performance for somebody that, honestly, he's been super consistent before this tournament, so it's not like he's been a question mark in the past. It's just the last couple weeks have been shaky, is the best way to put it, I think.
And it's very easy to get on a bad streak. If you have hard games, you're getting criticized. I don't know how much they care about the community, what they say, but maybe also the team itself has been telling him, Bone 7, you need to get it together. You haven't been performing well enough. If you're on a bad streak and you get put in hard games, that's a dangerous combo. But in this game, he's, like you said, doing extremely well on the Prophet. In addition to that, the Lich has picked up the mech plus 1,000 gold with his Midas. Necrobook 3 has been finished for a while. For Fata, the Blink on Nota, they have everything they need. I think the least farmed hero on the Dire relative to what he should be is actually Eternal Envy, which is very rare.
Yeah.
That he's the one. He's not trailing the others. He's still, I think, third highest on his team. He's right behind Fata, which is also rare, to be honest. But
No.
overall in the game, he's still looking good.
He has all he needs, man. He has the movement speed and attack speed buffs from Mask of Madness and Yasha. They're 4-man smoked right now, looking for a kill. Gonna try to transition into a push in all likelihood, because I don't think... Oh, actually, Roche might be up in a couple minutes. Actually, we won't know for a couple minutes. And the Hawk, this is the power of the Hawk, and Fata, among other players in this tournament, have been really impressed with the Hawk usage in general. As it's going to be a double smoke. See if they end up colliding. Sprout being used for a little bit of vision. They're just going to take the Ancients. As the smoke does dissipate. And HGT in the opposing jungle. Pretty sure Cloud9 has a decent idea about this right now.
Yeah, they know what's going on. It's pretty obvious at this point for both teams where the other team is. Even though you're in smoke, you can just tell from the map movements and the general pressure being applied. Cloud9 know the enemy team is inside their jungle, so they're just not going to go there. They'll just... Oh, okay, never mind. Now they do. Now the smoke has worn off, and they're going to send out the Scout Hawk from Beastmaster to clear the way.
Mjolnir was finished by Bone7. Who does he put the static charge on? Or whatever it's called.
The Hawk for style points.
That's pretty legit, actually.
Should get more flying vision from that. It's like a flashlight you're flying around.
Honestly, and it's going to sound ridiculous, the boar might not be the worst target. The AoE on that thing is insane, and they have to kind of have to kill the boar to some degree.
How much attack speed does that have?
What, the boar?
No, that doesn't matter. What am I talking about? Why are you baiting me into saying dumb things?
Well, the boar itself doesn't get Maelstrom. That's the thing to remember with that. It's very important.
Yes. It's just the shield. I think, honestly, if he puts the shield on the boar, they're just going to nuke it with a spell or two.
That's
right?
true.
I mean, they don't have to attack it.
I just want style points. Oh boy, Finger of Death onto air, along with the Chain Frost, and the bounce is going to continue. It's only going to bounce once, though. They do get the easy kill on Troll. 50 seconds on the silence. ZSMJ takes the roar to the back of the head. Here comes in counter initiation from Icy with the BKB pop. Fata taking a lot of damage from the Mystic Flare. It's not enough to find the kill, however. Pretty Haw stuck in the wrong place. Only a couple attacks from Bone7 are going to be enough. And now Icy completely mana drain with the Necro Book, along with the mana drain from Lion. That's 3 dead in the form of C9's aggression. And a tier 2 not looking too hot.
Yeah, very easy for them. They might even get Kaka here. TP from Bone7. He's totally out of position.
He is all over the map, this Bone7.
And there we go. Envy grabs his first kill of the game. I think you'd still just put the Mjolnir on whoever Axe calls. I think that's what you wait for, because he is going to be the selected target, right?
ZSMJ getting mana drained so hardcore, and he's just going to get beat down. This is a full team wipe. C9 didn't lose anybody. Nobody's even hurt at the moment. It's going to be at least a tier 3 tower, if not more.
That's easily the Rax. I don't think they can get any... Oh, okay. A little bit of a miss on the Impale from Big Daddy. But yeah, there is no way they do not get this barracks now, I think. Or maybe they do pull back, because they might not be sure whether Bristleback has buyback, which he doesn't. And they will go back. The risk here, risk-reward ratio, probably not worth it. They can just wait a bit, gather some more farm, maybe get the next Aegis, and then siege again. They know Roche is up soon. In 1 minute and 15
How
to
soon
be
is the question?
exact.
Yes. Now, the question is, do they feel... Let's say Roche would be, like, when he spawns, will they feel comfortable taking him without getting a pick-off first? Are they at that kind of an advantage right now?
I think so. If they just keep the Hawks in a good position in the Radiant jungle, they should be able to determine whether HGT are smoked. And if HGT are smoked, they don't go. And they wait, and the moment they gather any sort of intel, they go. The only way they can really lose this is if they try to go Roche with 5 heroes missing and do not show any respect to the HGT lineup, which can be dangerous. I mean, if you do get called in the Roche pit by this lineup and Bristleback gets to run in together with Troll, you could get team wiped, but Cloud9 are too experienced to make a mistake like that, I would say.
Envy finishes his Manta. Bristleback went BKB first. I don't know if I've ever seen that. First item, BKB. What do you think about that?
I think he has to. The Lion is causing him a lot of trouble. So is the Lich. Both the supports and the Dire are so extremely farmed that they have very high levels on their spells. The Mjolnir damage from Nature's Prophet, he can negate that as well. Not only the Chain Lightning, but also the Static Charge. And the Necro Book from Beastmaster, he doesn't get all his mana burnt. There's so much value in that item now that I completely agree with it. But yeah. So let's see. The way the next fight is probably going to break out is that HGT will try to initiate with Axe. They will call a target who, if Bone7 is in the neighborhood, he will put Mjolnir on. That will most likely result in 1 or 2, maybe 3 static charges unless they burst him down very well. And then HGT, depending on their BKB timings and whether they are popped or not, Troll, by the way, not having one is a big problem right now for their fighting potential. They can probably only get 1 kill like that. After that, they need to get the hell out of there, but running from a Prophet with Blink is an absolute nightmare. And even, I guess even the Beastmaster will be looking to get something as well. What's playing out for him? Another Blink. He has that now. So the chasing potential of Cloud9 is incredible. And you see now, they have vision in the top lane because of the Boar. Free Roche.
Indeed. Free rush. The question is, who takes it this time? Will Envy give away 2 Aegises in a row? Will this be a record? We'll soon find out. He's close enough. Oh.
There we go.
Still doesn't trust Bone 7. Still has a kill streak. He's 7-0 at the moment.
Still doesn't trust Bone 7. Oh, you're 7-0-9. Well, that's pretty good. But you're still going to die soon. So here's an
Better safe than sorry as they transition their way to the bottom lane. And, I mean, do they need to wait for any more core items? They could just probably
really
go.
don't think so. But I think for Cloud9, the mental aspect of sieging the base, they've had some bad experiences. And I think they've had that experience could result in one of two things. Either they feel like, for example, in the game against Big God, they hesitated too much and it took too long, or they felt like they overextended and they'll play even more carefully. And it looks like careful is the plan right now, as Air is showing top. Mass pings coming out from Lion. We're going to see an attempt from Fata to gank him here with Bones, with No Tail.
Bone 7! There's the sheep from No Tail. TP completely canceled. Air actually pops the battle trance. No, actually he didn't, sorry. Either way, really easy kill once the TP was canceled.
Very nice.
And now tier 1 tower. It's going to be backdoored by Envy.
And Bone 7 is almost got his Hex now as well. Still staying. Look at his net worth. Oh my goodness. 17,000. He's now going to port mid for IC. Give the man some more money. 8-0-10.
Man. Bone 7's back. Let's hope this isn't a one-time thing.
Yeah. Careful you don't jinx it just like the Navi's back. That did not work too well for them.
Oh man, it's too soon, man. It's too soon.
I'm sorry.
Wow, he even finished his Scythe of Vice.
Yeah, I didn't mention that a moment ago.
That is beautiful. He just finished it, by the way, in case you were wondering. Tier 2 tower, going to be taken out without any defense from HGT. Even the Tier 2 top might go down as well. Just free money.
They have no
C9.
response at all. They're so extremely far behind. This is a 20k game at minute 28. We've seen comebacks before, so I'm not going to count them out just yet. But
if anybody can do it, it's Cloud9.
Yeah, it's not HGT, right? If anyone can do it, it's Cloud9.
Well, this is going to add insult to injury, though. There is a gem now, so counter warding will commence. But looking at the map, there's not that many wards to
There's one ward
get rid
here.
of, honestly.
He doesn't have the gem yet. He only bought it. It's flying out, so at least for now, HGT have a little bit of intel at their ancients. They are just so extremely far behind. Prophet right now will be able to solo the Troll, for example, in a one-on-one. That's how far ahead he is. He has Mjolnir and Hex, and will very easily make quick work of any single hero on HGT. The Bristleback, if he pre-pops BKB, could fight him. But he can't kill him. He can just port out, right? So all of the pressure on HGT is on Axe. And I think anything lower than a 2- or 3-man call is not going to cut it. If they get a single kill, it doesn't matter. C9 are easily going to overpower them 4 and 5 with key cooldowns used.
Oh, here comes a Berserker's call onto Bone 7. He's going to take a lot of damage. Remember, he does have the Aegis. He might fall, but not before he does a ridiculous amount of damage. 4 dead in the blink of an eye. Aegis not even used. GGs are called. This is game 1, of course. It is a best of 3. For Cloud9 fans, looking pretty good.
Get boned.
I like that. Get boned. That's exactly what happened, actually, in more ways than one.
Yep.
Bone 7 looking very impressive in this game. Got off to a really good start. I like, we've mentioned this a couple times, the fact that he played Nature's Prophet and ganked a lot at the beginning means he doesn't necessarily have to win his lane 1v1, right?
No.
So it puts a lot of pressure off him. He can go to a different lane, help his teammates out, get the number advantage, and it just snowballed him.
Yeah.
And he was the top farmer in this game by a ridiculous margin.
Really, really standout performance by him. I want to say just overall Cloud9 this game, both... I think the two most important factors were Bone 7's early kills and the synergy between Beastmaster and Lich. Beastmaster
I like
and Lich.
Beastmaster.
Their Chain Frost Roar combinations were spot on. And it's pretty convincing to see Cloud9 take a win like this when I feel like Big Daddy, for example, played a solid game, nothing standout, nothing incredible. Same for Eternal Envy. They played decently, but the three others, when they play this well, they can beat HGT in 30 minutes. So
Was Wisp banned? Do you remember?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Because I was wondering if maybe they're trying to stay away from that a bit because it hasn't worked out that well for them. Maybe it's because No-Tail hasn't been on the team for that long and is used to playing in a different fashion, but I'm not sure. But either way, C9 looks really good in this game. Game 2 is going to be coming up soon. Let's go to the panel and see exactly what they think.
There you have it. And I only want to say, in your face, Chinese comic guy, what joke are you going to make about Bone 7 this time? He was pretty impressive on the Nature's Prophet.
Well, he made the Bone 7 joke, but it was Bone 7 doing the boning that game. So.
Absolutely. So what went wrong for HGT this game, Winter?
Like during the draft, I was Gods actually proposed that what if HGT went on the aggressive tri lane and tried to punish the C9 2-1-2 lanes, and they did that. But I was worried that the Prophet, the +1, would actually be a problem, and it was a problem indeed during the stage where they were moving around. Bone 7 got so many major pickoffs, and he was an impact in the game by a lot of ways. He had a 7-minute phase boots plus Midas. He out-CS the Bristleback 1v1 in the lane. He was the leading net worth hero in the majority of the game.
Yeah, and that means that Cloud9 is advancing to top 6 once again. I mean, at least they can say this team is at least as good as the one at TA4. Gods, you're shaking your head.
It's a BO3.
It's a BO3, that's fine. They're not advancing. I'm jumping ahead of myself. I'm so used to seeing them play lower bracket matches and having to survive best of ones.
At first
That
I'm
I
like,
jumped
I'm
the
just
gun.
like shaking my head, like, is Bruno going somewhere? Is this one of his wonderful schemes, which is leading somewhere? Is there a punchline? I'm like, I don't think there is.
It is day, I want to say, day 9 or 10 of this tournament. 16 hours day, the brain stops working.
Yeah.
The guacamole is great though, so you should try it.
It wasn't too much of the Dave's and Sandy sauce.
No.
Got a good
No,
amount of kick to it?
I got a piece that had a little bit, and I almost died, but it's like 1 out
Okay.
of 10. It's a gamble for you that you love spicy food.
I like the green curry.
Fair enough. That was very sweet though, it wasn't spicy.
Yeah,
Anyways, Dota people, come on. Seriously. C9 actually doesn't win, but
halfway there.
halfway there. They need to win one more. They're looking good. HGT, they might need some changes. We're going to discuss that in a bit, but we have to go to a super quick break because we need to delay the stream. And to delay the stream, we have to remove the delay from the stream. That's good news for you. We need to remove the delay from the stream, so that means that we'll have to cut the stream off.
Okay.
And we will be back. It's going to be about 2 minutes offline. Don't picnic. Don't go anywhere. When we get back, we'll have game 2 of Cloud9 versus HGT and a little bit more of the analysis. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.